Hello there, Ian here once again, and it's wonderful to be able to be with you. I hope this catches you well. Today I'd like to share some ideas on how to achieve important things without using willpower. Now, what I'm not talking about is achieving important things without investing the time, the energy and the focus required. There's no hack, there's no shortcut to achieving these things. But the willpower that I'm talking about here is that sort of grinding day-to-day motivation that we need to fire ourselves up with to get something done. Team leaders and bosses in companies often talk of the need for a motivational talk. I need to give a motivational talk to my staff. We have to think of ways of motivating people. Well, if that is the way you're running your company or the team, that is pretty much an ongoing spiral of motivation, and performance goes up for a bit, then it goes down, then you motivate them again, it might come up again, and it's really not sustainable. In terms of our own personal willpower, we've only got so much willpower in the day before we get disheartened, discouraged, and we may even give up altogether. So how can we achieve important things but without the need for that draining motivation and need for willpower? Well, here are 3 ideas on how we might approach that. And the first one is to discover and live in alignment with your values. Your values are the most important rules by which you live your life and do your job. Now, we all have values and they're all in operation whether we are conscious of them or not. But few of us have taken the time to document what they are and order them in importance. And I'm not talking about 10 or 20 rules. I'm talking about maybe 4 to 6 real key principles that determine how you live your life and do your job. When we live in alignment with these values, we have a source of energy that's almost self-replenishing. Yeah, it's an unlimited source of energy because now we are living in alignment with things that are most important to us. So the first step is to discover what your values are personally. And if you're a member of a team, I would strongly encourage every team and every company to understand what their values are. And not only that, but take steps to live in alignment with these values every hour, every day, for the rest of the future. Now, if you haven't done that exercise, if you're in a team or a company and you haven't really got alignment with your values, or you haven't done that personally, then do drop me a mail or a comment and I can walk you through a simple exercise on how to discover and live by those values. Live by your own values. Now, the second idea is if we have discovered our values and we are confident that we can live in alignment with them, the next thing is to do what? What do we want to do? What is the purpose that we want to aspire to? What's our life going to be for? In our companies, what are we moving towards? What's our goal for the future? And if you're like me, you may have set some goals in the past which you have not achieved. When we set our goals in this framework, our goals have one major advantage now, and that is they are in line with our values. Think of it this way. if your values are the how you're going to live your life, the goals define the purpose. It's the what and the why. And I would always suggest that you start with values first. Values are the most important things to you. That's how you're going to live your life. They're your rules of the game. But then, so what? What do you want to do? That sets up the framework for deciding your goals. The last idea is the chunking down, the breaking down of our goals into smaller stages. Sometimes we need willpower if we're tackling a big goal and we're tackling it all at once. When we tackle a goal all at once, it's very hard to see whether we're making progress. When we break down a goal into much smaller components, it's much easier to see our journey, and that progress renews our energy because we can see that we're actually moving through this journey to achieving something important. So when we are clear on our values, we set goals in alignment with those values, and we break those goals down into small chunks, and we can track our progress, then we don't need to mine that sort of well of willpower and motivation, because the values and our goals actually fulfill us. They replenish us with that energy, because now we're doing something that's important to us. We've got a sense of purpose in our daily routine, and we can see our progress. And that keeps that flywheel moving without us having to constantly use our willpower and motivation. I really hope that that did make sense and gave you an idea or two. If you're considering implementing some of these ideas in your company, here are a couple of ways that we can help. The first is what we call a business tune-up. And if you've never worked with a coach before, this is a great way to understand how the process works and what we can achieve together. Either a half day or a full day collaborative focused session. And we can normally come up with 4 to 6 ideas that can help you on your scaling journey, can improve your profitability, and improve the health of your cash flow. The second is to download the article you can see here on the 3 main barriers to scale, typically marketing, scalable infrastructure, and leadership development. The details are in that article. It's relatively short and easy to read. The last is to get a copy of our companion book, Scaling Up. It's won multiple awards. It's a great general book for any kind of enterprise and how to really build a sustainable, scalable business in the areas of people, strategy, execution, and cash. I hope that one of those appeals to you. I hope that you can stay well and healthy, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon.